Good morning. We are still dealing with snow on the ground, but no longer in the forecast. I'll have your updated details coming next.
And also coming up, talking of course about that Russian invasion of Ukraine. There's some sights and sounds to show you this morning, especially stuff that just came in literally 15 minutes ago. Plus, the city is almost done with its 20-year comprehensive plan. I'll tell you what their plan of action is so far as we go on this Friday, February 25th, 2022. This is Morning Edition. I'm Ryan Henderson.
And I'm the page.
Good morning, Hannah. It's Friday.
You feel it?
Yeah,
I feel us getting closer to the weekend.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. We get up early, so our day's already halfway over. I know a lot of folks out there like just starting their Fridays. It does feel good when you get to this latter half of it. And we deserve it because we've been throwing just so many curveballs this week.
Yes, I feel like it's just got busier and busier, and things should have been slowing down. But we've got that over the weekend. We're talking about snow melting. We're talking about sunshine.
Well, that sounds great. One note Hannah's been giving us all morning long. Be careful, though, still out there driving.
Yes.
Potential black ice. We have heard about some wrecks.
And we'll go ahead and take a look out in just a few minutes.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's get you to some sights and sounds from Russia. Obviously, the biggest story of the world. Let's go ahead and show you, which is a Russian military airfield that was attacked by a missile. I'm not sure exactly about where the missile came from exactly. This is according to geolocated social media video and images where we get this shot this morning. And this just occurred, we got it about 15 or so minutes ago. Again, it's unclear. Neither the Ukrainian or Russian governments have commented on this yet, and we don't want to tell you it was one way or the other. It's just, we've already showed you the people in bunkers this morning. Ukrainian people will probably be showing you more of these sights and sounds. We've shown you Ukrainian vehicles on the road. This is just the next latest detail of, we've also showed you the bridges being blown up in Ukraine. This is just the latest thing that we've seen that's kind of concerning that's coming in. Obviously, you tune in the Morning Edition because we're giving you this updated information. If anything else breaks, we're certainly going to get it to you. Obviously, this is the subject of our next story as well. A full-scale war is underway right now in Ukraine. The Russian military targets a number of locations. Here at home, the Biden administration is reacting with even more sanctions. Fox News correspondent Kevin Corke has more from Washington.
At a time when Americans are facing increasing economic pressure from high fuel costs, inflation overall, you can imagine that there were plenty of furrowed brows around the country when the president suggested, as he did in the East Room, that Americans would now have to pay a cost for the efforts by our government to try to thwart Vladimir Putin and his efforts in Ukraine. That said, the president went on to say at the White House that, yes, his administration was going to collaborate with G7 powers to bring about the most severe sanctions possible.
Putin is the aggressor. Putin chose this war, and now he and his country will bear the consequences. Today, I'm authorizing additional strong sanctions. We have purposely designed these sanctions to maximize the long-term impact on Russia and to minimize the impact on the United States and our allies.
Biden said the U.S. would block assets of large Russian banks, also impose export controls aimed at the nation's high-tech needs, and sanction Russia's business oligarchs. Meanwhile, reporters peppered the president in the East Room with plenty of questions about his handling of the crisis. Among them, our own Peter Doocy wondered if the president had, in fact, underestimated Vladimir Putin. He said he hadn't. Another question by Peter Alexander of NBC wondered if the president had, say, more sanction arrows in his quiver. Why not use them all now? In Washington, I'm Kevin Corke, Fox News.
As always, thank you, Kevin. Residents in Kiev are taking shelter as Russia continues its invasion into Ukraine. This video from Ukraine's capital city showing families sitting inside a shelter. I was telling you about this just a minute ago. Air raid sirens continue to sound as Russian troops bear down. Ukrainian forces blew up 2 bridges near Kiev to impede Russian forces. Another bridge in Hostomel, just west of Kiev, was also blown up. Russian forces believed to be around 20 miles from Ukraine's capital Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says more than 130 people have been killed and over 300 wounded in the country since Russia invaded yesterday. But let's let's pause there with the international news and get you back a little closer home. Kick it over to Hannah Page, who has a brilliant shot downtown.
Yes, so we have really quiet conditions today. Coming off yesterday, it just became a mess as the day went on. You may notice a few slick spots this morning, probably just outside your door. A lot of our main roads pretty good to go. So we're walking throughout the morning hours. We're allowing the sun to come up. We're pushing out the cloud cover that is also present today. So sunny skies, something we have really lacked this week, will help us get a little bit warmer, and not much today. We're still well below our average. Upper 20s though to low 30s across the board, with feels like temperatures lingering in the low to mid 20s all day long, but very dry conditions for not only today, but the next several days. So we will talk more about chilly to cooler conditions over the weekend. Meanwhile, wrapping up the month, welcoming back a new one with a really nice warm up.
That just sounds wonderful. It's long overdue.
It is.
Because we haven't seen it since Monday. All right, thank you, Hannah. Another candidate has filed for the District 12 State Senate race. District 12 State Senate race. Tripped over my words a little bit there. Dallas Johnson, a former St. Joseph Fire captain and state representative, has filed for the primary election. As of now, he and current state representative Jay Eggleston are in the race. Filing for the primary election concludes on March 29th. Obviously, interesting stuff there. Now, moving on, the city of St. Joseph is almost done with its 20-year comprehensive plan, but it's holding one last open house meeting Monday to get some community input out there. The purpose of the plan is to consolidate other long-term plans into one document that sets the city up for future success, that is, in land use, infrastructure, and economic development.
Comprehensive plan specifically is looking at not only adjusting for growth, but also how to target infill areas here in the community. So we are definitely looking at about what it would look like if we expand our borders, but also looking at, areas we could work to fill up again within our borders.
How can we be the most efficient that we can? And how can we continue to capitalize on the water, the streets, the sewers, the lines, all of those things that we have in place today? So how do we continue to invest in our existing neighborhoods? How do we leverage the places and spaces that we have there to make great communities for future generations?
And that open house will be Monday nights at the Remington Nature Center from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. The city hopes to have the plan in place by April. All right, stay with us this morning. We're going to take you to a vaccination event which took place at Missouri Western. That plus your full forecast. When will those warm days hit us? Hannah Page gives us the answer. Stay with us. Morning Dish will continue.